Tell me I don't live in a different world than I used to live in. Granted, it's not like really nice out or whatever, but it's not too bad. It's not really cold. It's not really rainy. But there is no children out playing. When I was growing up, there was children. I was one of the kids that were outside playing. Like, and when the boomers were growing up, or Gen X, they were outside playing. This is what I'm saying. I live in a completely different world than what I was raised in. I don't know if this is just like evolution or probably that evolution and technology. But look at how bare this is, man. And if there was kids out playing, to be honest, I wouldn't be recording anyway, because I think that's not very good. But the reason why I say this and I wanted to record this is because I noticed this with a lot of different neighborhoods, that they ain't out playing, they ain't outside. And if you go to parks, they're not in the parks as much. They're not playing baseball. They're not. I go to the skate park, there's hardly anyone at the skate park, just walking past it. Like, this is what we live in now, and everyone is getting more and more separated, more and more divided nowadays. And is this sustainable? I've said in previous videos, like, that people should probably, like, families should come together and stop moving far away from each other and kind of like try to be in their own communities, so you can have more trustworthiness. But yeah, man, it is. I mean, it's like 50 degrees out, but it's not too bad out, man. It really isn't. This would be a pretty nice weather to put like a hoodie on and then go ride your bike with your buddies. But I haven't seen it. Like, seriously, this is a pretty nice neighborhood, man. Like, some of these houses I was looking at, like, man, some of these houses are probably like $300,000. Very nice. This is a very nice, safe neighborhood. Didn't see not one kid out playing. Not one. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? People, they're on their phone. They're in the Matrix. They're more in the Matrix than they are outside. And that's how they're being programmed. So, who's to blame? It's the parents. It's the parents for letting them be on their phones and electronics all day and not going outside and play with other kids. The kids are going to do what they're going to do, and it's the jobs of the parents to, like, tell them to go outside and play, get off your phone. But there's, like, an imbalance, and I think this is programming us to be more and more separated. It's pretty crazy, like, real time to see this. Not one kid, man. That's so crazy. Granted, when I was a kid, I don't know, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I had a balance, and I felt like I probably relate to this generation a lot, because I had video games, and I did my own thing. I was pretty isolated, but I kind of balanced it, because I still went outside. I still did stuff. I still had interest outside. You know what I mean? I rollerbladed. I skateboarded. I played baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I played all these dang sports. And yeah, it's just, that's the world we live in now, and it's becoming more and more prevalent that you probably will encounter more and more people having lack of awareness, lack of social skills, and some of this. And I think that's my frustration in life. It's just, I feel like I said, I'm not some time traveler. I feel like I was born here. I don't think I'm an alien, even though I feel like one at times. But I just don't. I don't know, man. I feel like I have so much more awareness than so many people. It makes me. It kind of does make me feel like I'm special in some ways, even though it's not really something I can make money off of. But not to say like a lot of other people, but I've just noticed in my lifetime seeing a lot of people just have heightened awareness in my lifetime to being around people in modern society not have as much. So, and I think it's just gonna get worse. So like this is what you guys should be bracing for, unless it does become more conservative and we kind of go back to the 90s type of feel. I don't know, we'll see, man. Like that the 90s was pretty cool. The nostalgia from the 90s, there's this Josh from the Swamp 666. He's got a little channel. He's a new YouTube creator. He has a lot of nostalgia stuff from like the 90s. I see one of his videos, he had like a Garbage Pail Kids review, and that's something that I first got into. What got me into collecting sports cards was Garbage Pail Kids. Like that stuff is completely degenerate, and I was looking at that stuff when I was like 7 or something, or 8. So like, yeah, the kids nowadays look at degenerate things nowadays, but like this isn't anything new. And granted, that's like cartoonish type of stuff, but yeah, like I think that people, you know, are kind of craving for that nostalgia because there really isn't anything. You know, I just bought, like I've said in my past videos, I just bought WWE 25, Major League Baseball 25, and I love those games. But I've already played them. Man. I put a lot of time in. I've already played these games. Like, there's not much different from the games I've already played. And I don't have any desire to keep playing these games. So I bought them for no reason, you know what I mean? I bought them to see if they got better, but no, they're not. I think the people are realizing that, here's the thing too, is like, I noticed on like TikTok, which I don't use too much. You know, I might have my spats where I, you know, watch it a little bit, but people like the same thing over and over again. You know, I've seen this a lot with these creators. Like, they'll do like a dance or something, but it's like the same thing. Maybe they're wearing like something different, or they're in a different area, but they do the same thing over and over. Like that one girl who did that same dance when she got on a Lamborghini and like broke the roof or the windshield. You know what I'm talking about. She had like the little skirt on. She does this like, it's honestly like a cool looking dance, honestly. And then I see like a couple of her other videos on X pop up on my news feed. Somebody posted, and she's doing the same dance. And then it's just like I can't do that, man. This is why I can't get big. It's because I can't just like make the same content, man. It's just so boring. I guess on X you can't. Okay, so like I'm shadow banned on X right now, and part of the reason why I'm out and about right now is I'm bored. I don't care about movies, don't care about TV. I don't have you know that stuff I'd probably like it more if I had a partner, somebody to share that with. But like watching that stuff on my own just seems so pointless. You know, to have that experience with somebody that I care about sitting next to me and enjoying it with me, we're talking a little bit about it or whatever. And it's just like okay, they were talking about this on the channel Raymond's Thoughts. He had a live stream and they were talking about back in the day, and I remember doing this all the time, where they're talking about like how the programming like we would all watch the same shows basically. You know, we'd have like, I don't know, Tuesday would be like Tool Time, and then Wednesday would be like Roseanne, and then you would have like Thursday would be like some type of other show that I don't know. And then Friday you would have TGIF Fridays, right? So you'd have all these family type of shows. You don't really have that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't really watch TV anymore, but like the writing back then was just so amazing compared to right now. So what would happen is, like, I would watch like Married with Children or something, right? So we pretty much all watch it and then come to school the next day, and then we would talk about it, you know, to give us something to talk about. It doesn't feel like we really have that anymore, you know, and it kind of makes me feel like since we are all decentralized pretty much, that was like part of the culture, you know. It just feels like we don't have any culture anymore. That's why a lot of people have turned, and religion as well, like I'm not religious, but more spiritual. But you know, we just don't relate. I think that there's just so much going on and so many different variables of a lot of different things. It's just like there was that relatability, because like you can be like, oh, do you remember when Al Bundy said this? Like, and then you laugh. And then, because like you can relate, you thought that same type of thing when you seen the show. And maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe that still happens. Maybe, you know, I just don't think that as many people watch TV as much as they did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me. And this type of stuff does still exist, and I'm just, since I've unplugged myself from it, I think it doesn't exist no more. But yeah, I just don't think that the shows are they're not very interesting to me. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm pretty sure there's probably some shows that are pretty good. You know, a show that I was watching a little bit of was, what is that one with he had the bald head, glasses, and he made meth or something, and I think I watched the first season of that. It was like a pretty big show. I never watched Game of Thrones. You know, like, I just, and for, what made it crazy, okay, so the difference between now and from then is because we all watched it together at the same time. So the new, and it could happen right now, but I don't know. We watched it at the same time because you always dropped the new episode at the same, you know, at the prime time, like 8 o'clock. You know, and if they didn't, they'd have like a rerun or something. But we all have access to whatever we want. We could watch the whole season. You know what I mean? So like, you watch the season on your own, but I don't, because I'm not really watching that anymore. You know, I'm doing something else. And it's kind of like there's not that relatability. There's not the relatability. You know? What I'm seeing too is like, since there really isn't these big artists that are, you know, there is big artists, but they're not like when I was growing up, for sure. Like, and it's like, I think that these old artists who I used to listen to growing up, you know, I think that, so Will Smith came out with a new record, I guess. I don't know if this is true, I just seen it off of X. Apparently he only sold 68 copies in UK. And I think that has a lot to do with people like, why would I buy your album when I can just like use Spotify? But apparently people still buy albums because it's a big deal. People still buy music. I don't really see a point to buy music anymore. I haven't seen a point to buy music since I've found Spotify years ago, or YouTube. And they were talking about on that show. It was a really, really good episode. If you look it up, it's called "I Want to Believe" is a live stream. They talked about aliens and stuff, and we just don't really have that nostalgia. You know, I think that we're all just so separated, and it's pretty sad, man. We're so divided. There's no like relatability. You know, so whatever. That's it.